Wait, what is this? A $40 mic from a company called FiFine? Hell yeah, that's right, it's actually pronounced FiFine and not FiFine, and I know I'm going to be fighting this in the comment section down below. Of course, before we do get into the video, this mic was actually sent out to me by AliExpress, but remember, everything I do say in this video is an honest opinion and my personal opinion. AliExpress in no way controls what I have to say about this particular product, neither does FiFine. So with all that being said, let's proceed. And again, another also, if you do wish to sort of pick this mic up by the end of this video, I will be leaving some links and some discount codes in the description and the pinned comments. So make sure you do go ahead and check those out in case you find this mic worthy. In case you find this mic worthy. Did I say find this? What did I say? So, the FiFine mic is unidirectional. For my non-audio geeks, that means it's a cardioid mic. Okay, that wasn't very non-audio geeky. Basically, cardioid mics are designed in a way to pick up audio primarily from the front in a heart-shaped pattern, if that makes sense. The science behind it is simple. It ignores sound from the sides and the rear, which is great for minimizing unwanted background noise. Translation: if you've got a dog barking, a sibling yelling, or your Roomba plotting world domination behind you, this mic tries its best to ignore all of that. Keyword being try. And hey, while we're on the topic of things it ignores and things it doesn't, this mic is a surprising mix between, wow, that's really good, and meh. The outer shell, lightweight plastic, which screams budget. But, and is a big but, the actual mic capsule inside sits inside of a metal cage under the foam windshield. It's like putting a titanium roll cage inside of a budget car. The outside might not survive the crash, but the important stuff is still protected. And that foam windshield is legit. It softens the harsh plosive sounds. Think something on the lines of Peter Piper picked a pack of pickled peppers. I did enunciate the P's a bit more, but you get the idea. Now, let's talk about that boom arm. And the max I can say in terms of a compliment is that it's functional, at best. If you're not careful with tightening this whole contraption completely and really well, it will turn into a wobbly mess really quickly. So that is something you need to bear in mind. This did come packaged with the mic for the price, so don't expect it to be crazy. It is still built out of metal, but it's completely hollow from the inside. So basically you can blow on it and the whole thing will fall. It's not a disaster though, but it's not the best thing to experience when you're mid-rant in a heated gaming session. And don't get me started on the cable. Since there's no built-in way to guide the cable along the arm, it just dangles looking like it's auditioning for a Spider-Man movie, spiraling around messily. So of course there's no cable management built along this particular boom arm for the price, which is expected. But at the end of the day, I believe what I can personally do, and suggest other people to do as well, is use reusable zip ties. Because I think that's the best way to go forward with something like this anyhow. If you do, however, not prefer the boom arm, or would you like to go for something else, you can pick from a different option because the mounting that it uses is universal. But there is another version of the mic that comes with a desk stand instead of a boom arm, which I suppose could be a better pick for a lot of people out there, especially if you're looking into going into streaming without really having to worry about that whole contraption sitting next to you. But let's get into features that actually matter. The XLR input. Now, XLR is the professional standard for audio connections because it minimizes noise and interference. It's what the big leagues use. So seeing an XLR option on a $50 mic, that's like finding a luxury feature in a budget car. But wait, what if you don't have a fancy audio thingy-majig? Interface is what I meant to say. What if you did not have a fancy audio interface? What then? Well, the good thing here, my friends, is that this mic actually comes with a USB port as well. So, if you don't have an XLR cable like myself or an audio interface, you can plug this thing using a USB-C cable directly into your laptop, PC, or your phone, and you can just record as is. If anything, whatever you're listening to at the moment is coming straight from that USB connection because I don't have an XLR cable. And at the moment, the audio is processed. However, later on in the video, there will be a segment where I will remove any sort of post-processing and you'll hear the complete raw audio coming straight from this mic, straight to you. So wait for that. They didn't just stop there. It's got touch controls for muting and cycling through LED colors. And the LEDs, they're perfectly diffused, as if they were designed by someone who spent way too much time making sure that it doesn't look like a cheap light show. But one thing to bear in mind, if you are using an XLR input, you will not get those LEDs. The only way for you to get them or even to have them activated in the first place is to use a USB connection. So if you are using an XLR and you still want to see those LEDs, you might want to plug in the USB at the same time. So just bear that in mind. The gain and audio monitoring controls, oh yeah, they actually work. For the non-geeks, here's the deal behind these. Gain is basically how sensitive your mic is to sound. Turn it too high, you're going to blow people's ears off. You're going to pick up everything from your own breathing to the neighbor's lawnmower. But if you turn it too far down, it's going to sound like you're speaking from the other side of the room. So it's up to you to find the perfect balance between the two. The mic even has a headphone jack for real-time audio monitoring. Now that's huge. If you're serious about audio quality, monitoring lets you hear exactly what your audience hears. No surprises. And yes, this is the kind of feature you would usually see on mics that are way beyond this price point. I would have loved to see another USB-C port at the bottom of the microphone rather than a 3.5mm headphone jack for the audio monitoring. And that is only because the sheer volume of the headphones that come with the 3.5mm headphone jack these days has really gone down. And the only next best solution for that is either going wireless or replacing that with the USB-C, which I'm not complaining about, because the only fix around this, or the only way around this, is to get one of those male 3.5mm jacks to female USB-C adapters. Other than that, it's not that big of a deal. I just wish it was another USB-C. Then we have the touch capacitive controls. These are a blessing and a curse. Sure, they feel slick and modern, none of the awkward button pressing, and there's the catch. It's incredibly sensitive, and they're positioned on opposite sides. The front houses the dials and the LED switch, while the back has the mute button. Now, all of that sounds fine in theory, but the moment you try and adjust the microphone, there's a solid chance that you're going to end up muting yourself by mistake. That is so sensitive that if I even hover around it, or if I try and hold the mic to adjust it right now, it will either mute me or change the color of the LEDs, none of which that I actually want. But the good thing is that there is an indication at the back of it which tells you whether it's red for muted or green for active. But I highly doubt you would be able to see that when you're recording like this, because I have no idea if it's red or green unless I do that, which I know it's green at the moment. So handy, yes, but also a feature that'll teach you how to double check everything before wondering why everybody's gone quiet on Discord. Now for the moment of truth, the sound quality. I tested this thing, and for $50, wow, it's crisp. With clear highs and surprisingly balanced mids and lows, it's not perfect, but it's pretty damn good. Now, of course, don't expect any warm, buttery smooth sound like from the $400 Shure SM7B without putting in some extra work. But this mic definitely punches way above its price class for sure. And remember, this video, every single word you're hearing is recorded on this mic. And now, ladies and gentlemen, is when you get to hear this mic completely unfiltered. So whatever you're listening to at the moment is coming straight from this microphone, plugged into a software called Audacity, which is where I'm actually recording this whole thing. And rather than doing any sort of processing in there, it's going to come straight from that into the edit. No changes. So let me know how these sound. Here are some plosives. Peter Piper picked a pack of pickled peppers. Yeah, that's pretty much all I got. So be the judge. So who is this mic for? If you're balling on a budget but still want to sound good for podcasts, gaming, streaming, or just telling your friends that their audio sucks over Discord, this is a great pick. Just be prepared for that boom arm situation. And remember, if you're working with gain settings, get it just right to avoid picking up every cricket chirp or every car honk outside. Overall, this mic is more than just fine. It's actually fine. See, yeah. Trey, thank you. And that, my friends, is the highest compliment I'm going to give this $50 mic. I think it is more than fine. It is fine. Again. It is really good. I'm trying to make a joke about it, but at the end of the day, it is actually a solid piece of equipment. And this is probably going to replace what I have been using so far as a microphone for the channel. So, welcome to the collection, I guess. All right, guys. So that is all for me. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you do enjoy this, make sure you leave a like and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And, like I mentioned previously, there are links in the description down below. If you do feel like you want to get one for yourself, of course, not just the link downstairs, but also some discount codes for you to check out. So make sure you go ahead and do that, and I will catch you guys later.